Hey, what's up guys, it's Oakley, and CA posted a cryptic message up on their Twitter page. We can take a look at this. If you just press play, not much happens. You just see the Rome 2 emblem with dust falling off of it with the caption, "Is this the end of the Empire or just the beginning?" So not much to it. Obviously more news is going to be dropping soon, but this does confirm that standalone that DLC expansion is going to be coming in for Rome 2. People had thought, hey, which recent Total War title is it going to be? Well, this kind of confirms it's Rome 2 and not Attila. So there we have it. So if we go to our timeline, if we're going to be building off Rome 2, it depends which end of Rome 2 are we going to go on. Are we going to go early, Alexander the Successor Kings, or are we going to go after, towards perhaps the 2nd or 3rd centuries? So the teaser doesn't really tell us too much, although we can kind of examine this little line. Is this the end of the empire or just the beginning? So if you're talking about end of empires, a lot of people are saying, oh, I mean, that's obviously referring to the Roman Empire. So let's go ahead and entertain that notion, then we'll talk about maybe an alternate theory. So if you're talking about the end of the empire, obviously the end of the empire kind of kept going on after a while. When we're still playing Attila, we're still playing with the empire. But a point in time where there was a question of whether or not the empire was going to collapse early on, that was going to be the 3rd century crisis. And if you take the second part of this quote, or just the beginning, asking about, like, is this just the beginning of the empire? Perhaps that's a question of new empires rising up. So during the 3rd century crisis, for instance, in the east, you have the breakaway Palmyrene Empire led by Zenobia, and then in the west, you have the breakaway Gallic Empire. So perhaps that's what they're alluding to, a chance where the old empire of Rome starts to die down, and emerging from within it, these breakaway kingdoms that perhaps can be, fulfill this prophecy, so to speak, or just the beginning, perhaps be those empires. So this kind of lends credence to the idea that the end of one empire and perhaps the emergence of another. So that could be the 3rd century crisis. But to me, a lot of people are kind of overlooking what this could mean early on. So if you rewind the clock, end of empire, I mean, that could easily refer to Alexander the Great's empire. And then if you look at this, or just the beginning, that actually fits pretty nicely if you look at Alexander the Great and the Successor Kings, because is this the end of Alexander the Great's empire? For sure. But coming out of that, the wars of the Diadochi, you have lots of empires emerging from that, each one led by its own general, Ptolemy, Seleucus, all of the emerging empires coming out of that one. So this sentence here, to me, almost could fit the fact pattern of either the beginning or the end. So unfortunately, it looks like this message doesn't get us that much further. A lot of people are kind of trying to speculate about when it's going to be. But again, I think my money is still going to be on Alexander the Great or Crisis of the 3rd century. That Cherushi warrior that we saw in the concept art was, if that is going to be tied to this Rome 2 DLC, then I mean, that almost obviously puts us later in the time period as opposed to earlier. So, and we really don't know when that concept art is going to take place. It could obviously be tied to that kind of standalone Fall of the Samurai type expansion that they're talking about, which we're theorizing is going to be Age of Vikings. Perhaps that's what that concept art is tied to. So yeah, we'll have to wait to hear more from CA, but also I do recommend that if it is going to be kind of the transition from Rome into Attila, definitely go ahead and check out my series on the Battle of Adrianople. Part 1 does a bit of a recap of the jump in time from the time of Augustus into, the reforms of the 3rd and 4th century leading into Attila. That one does a really good history overview to recap you on what's going on. So definitely check that out, and it's obviously a great video just overall. So yeah, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. See you in the next one. Peace out.